No, it should be.
Go to the speaker icon. Then what I do is I lower that mic, which is the ambiance. I put up yours, so you still hear the background, but you're predominantly hearing you guys, or me, or whoever. It's better that way.
Yep.
What's up, guys?
How you
How
doing?
you doing, sir? How are you? How's everything? Good. You guys doing a good job this season. I like it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It feels good to be back. This is my favorite sport to do.
How's your baseball team?
Other It's a beautiful 65-degree afternoon here in Rutherford, New Jersey, and we've got a divisional matchup coming your way in the National Division as the North Arlington Vikings face the St. Mary Gales. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Sheridan Senior Memorial Field in Rutherford, alongside my partner Eli Weintraub. Jack Rizzo with you here on this Monday afternoon. Eli, today is the Gales' official home opener. The game against Pompton Lakes did not count since it only went 4 innings. The Gales played their first 7 on the road, and they did fairly well, going 5-2. What are you going to expect from the Gales now coming back home today?
Well, I expect a good win today, and they need a bounce back win. They took a bad loss this weekend with Bergen Catholic 10-0, but they look to regain here. They took a big victory with Lindars on Thursday, 7-3, and now they're looking to get a big victory here tonight versus North Arlington. This is an NJIC team. Both are in the same division, so I expect a well-anticipated good game in the beginning, and I see a St. Mary victory out of this today.
The Gales are getting a massive addition to their lineup, Eli. Owen Perillo, the senior transfer from Hudson Catholic, is back, or I shouldn't say back, he's making his Gales debut today. Had to sit out the first 8 games due to the transfer rules. So he is back in the lineup today, Eli. A massive power bat, 6 home runs for him over the last 2 years, career batting average over 400. What kind of addition is he to this lineup?
Well, we saw him during batting practice in Warmers this afternoon, Jack, and he was hitting home runs off to left field. You could see how well he hits the ball, and that is a key feature. And that's going to help this Gales team improve and get more runs onto the game. He did excellent in the beginning, and I see a big improvement to this Gales lineup. But I'm looking for him to at least get a home run, if not an RBI, in today's game.
If you're North Arlington, you're the underdogs coming into this game. How do you manage to keep this one close?
Cannot allow runs on base. That's simple. You cannot allow runs on base. You cannot allow hits. You have to continue to throw good pitches and continue to throw strikeouts. That is key today. Now, the pitcher coming in today, Danny Higgins, he's only had 1 strikeout. But again, he did throw 77 pitches. He allowed 4 runs. It's not the best numbers, but if you can continue to throw strikeouts and if you can aim to get that, you're good to go.
Well, it should be an interesting one. The Gales and the Vikings coming up right after this here on Surge Sports TV. Bradley Higgins takes the start for the Gales today. It's his second start of the season. His first start came against Secaucus. He threw 3 1/3, scoreless, struck out 7, allowed just 1 hit. So a very good start for him. He's been in and out so far of the lineup this season, dealing with some injuries, but taking the start for the Gales today. Eli, what can we expect from the senior?
Well, he's pitched pretty good so far this season, from our understanding. He had a total of 49 pitches thrown, 7 strikeouts total, and he pitched that Seafocus game. And that was 11-0 the final. Did not allow a single run, so I expect another good game from him today. Hopefully no runs allowed tonight.
We'll see if North Arlington presents a bigger challenge to Bradley Higgins than Secaucus did. Gales infielders will come in for a final discussion before Higgins will throw his first pitch. Bringing the Gales defense now, Blaze Conti is at first. Bobby Cross is at second. Roy Rivera is at shortstop. Owen Perillo making his Gales debut at third base. Logan Bartley is out in left field. Alex Almonte is in center field. Yandel Ortiz is in right field. And Demir Giddens is behind the plate today with Sebastian Santana DHing. Bradley Higgins is not hitting today. So we are ready to go. Here from Rutherford, the junior third baseman Chris Troiano leads off for the Vikings. He's off to a good start this year, 7 for 15, hitting nearly 500, driven in 6 runs, also walked 5 times, stole 9 bases. And Higgins' first pitch of the game is in there for a called strike, and off we go from Rutherford. Chris Troiano has had a lot of experience against the Gales. He's made 2 career starts against them. And of course, the Gales play North Arlington twice a year, being in the same division. Under Coach Nigel Archibald, the Gales are 4-0 against North Arlington. This is the first time, though, the Gales are playing North Arlington here at Rutherford since April of 2023. That's outside from Higgins on that fastball. Count is 2-1. One of Chris Troiano's 7 hits was a triple. The other 6 are all singles. And he gets jammed and pops one up. That'll go foul. And it's 2-2. Bradley been a 4-year starter for the Gales. Had a tremendous year last year, ERA under 3. The 2-strike pitch to Chris Troiano is fouled back into the netting, and it's still 2-2. Gales are coming off a 10-0 loss on Saturday against Bergen Catholic. North Arlington is coming off their second win of the season, a 22-2 victory over Harrison. And that misses high, and it's now a full count to Chris Troiano. Well, this is without a doubt North Arlington's best player, Eli. So if they want to win today, they're going to need a big day from Chris Troiano.
They do need a big day from Chris Troiano. Foul there.
Yep,
But,
foul ball, count is still full.
as we mentioned about Chris, let's talk about Chris for a second here. Now at bat, 15 at bats, 5 runs, 7 hits, 6 RBIs, 9 stolen bases. To his credit.
This is now the 8th pitch of this at bat coming up. And he laces one into left center field. Almonte racing over, and he makes the catch. Almonte got a good read on that, and he was there to make the play. 1 out here on the top of the first.
Nicely done there. Get the out. Love how the communication there between left and center. That is Logan Bartley off to the left, and center field is Alex Almonte. Love the communication. Love how they both meet at the same time, and got the job done there.
Well, Alex Almonte's been playing left field most of the season. That's a great play from him, though, out in center field today. Now the second baseman, Luis Ramos, is up at bat, and that pitch is high, ball 1. Ramos comes in today hitting .333 on the season, couple doubles. He's driven in 5, also stole 4 bases. 97 career at bats. So he's one of North Arlington's most experienced players. This is a relatively young team, Eli, trying to get their foot in the door here in this NJIC National Division.
Yeah, they do have to get through this through the door in order to win the NJIC. And again, the 2 tough teams right now to see in this NJIC National Division right now, Rutherford and St. Mary's. Rutherford at 5-1, St. Mary's at 5-2. Those are the 2 teams to watch out for in terms of the National Division side of things. The rest of the NJIC is pretty much packed and loaded, ready to go.
And a 4-pitch walk by Higgins as Luis Ramos is North Arlington's first base runner of this game. So the Vikings with a 1-out base runner, and that will bring up the left fielder, Alex Zaldivar. Sorry about that, Eli. Go ahead.
Yeah, you cannot give up a walk like that for straight. Hopefully, a strikeout here. If not, catch me down the outfield because you need to keep this going. You cannot keep up walk after walk, especially in what could be a close game early on in the first.
And that first pitch misses. So 5 straight balls now thrown by Higgins. Zaldivar is 5 for 12 to begin the year. Couple doubles. He's driven in 5. This is a significant improvement from he really struggled last season. And a pickoff attempt to first and back safely is Ramos. Nice crowd for the Gales today. Nice crowd for North Arlington, too. And that's foul back. So finally, Hagen's able to get a strike in there and a foul ball by Zaldivar. And it's 1-1.
Watch out for Ramos there, potential.
Yep. He's got 4 stolen bases on the season. Another pickoff attempt and back safely is Ramos. Now, in high school baseball, there are no limits for how many times you can disengage. Of course, Major League Baseball, the rule change was made a couple years ago where you can only disengage 2 times in at bat. You have to get, and the third time you have to get it out, otherwise it's a balk. And another pickoff attempt, that one gets by Conti, but not far enough for Ramos to advance.
I can see the efforts there by Radley, Higgins, and crew, but they got to take it easy. They have to slow it down here. I know they want to try to pick them off and stuff, but especially when you're in this situation, you kind of 1-1. You just got to stay with the bat, stay with the ball, stay with the batter up front. Don't focus on first so much.
And then misses high. Giddens thought about the back pick, but never released the ball, and it's 2-1. Well, Zaldivar does not have any stolen bases on the season, so he's a potential double play candidate here, Eli.
Yeah, he's absolutely a candidate here. But although he may have not gotten any stolen bases, he's got good numbers to his credit.
And it's now 3-1 as Bradley Higgins is struggling to find the strike zone early. Big pitch for Higgins to make here. 3-1 count to Alex Zaldivar. And he lines one into center field. Monty coming on, and he has to play it on a hop, a base hit. First hit of the game for North Arlington. Alex Zaldivar with a single right up the middle. And the Vikings have 2 on here in the top of the first.
Let's take a look at the replay here, Jack. Here's that play once more for Zaldivar. Straight down the middle. Unable for Almonte to catch it. Unfortunately, the right fielder for St. Mary's, for Jason Ortiz, was not able to run in time to get the out. But hey, they did get Almonte running, potentially getting it. Unable to, though. Runners at first and second.
So here's the cleanup batter, Rohan Patel. The senior is off to a great start this year, 4 for 9. And in a prime position here to give North Arlington an early lead. And the first pitch, curveball, drops in for a strike, 0-1. Well, that's a pitch that Higgins has really worked on last couple of years. We'll see if he can make that a lethal pitch here in 2025. 0-1 to Rohan Patel as the plane flies overhead. That's in the dirt, ball 1. So Higgins throwing a lot of pitches here in the first. Remember, go back to the 8 pitch at bat to begin with Chris Troiano, and a walk and a single later, and Bradley's pitch count is getting up there here early in this game. And that's a chopper. It's going to be a tough play. Higgins off the mound, and the throw is wide. North Arlington is going to take the lead. 1 run scores, and runners will be at second and third. Runner is out at second as Patel is tagged out trying to advance second, so there are 2 outs in the inning. But Ramos comes in with the first run, and it's 1-0 Vikings here in the first.
A simple, good bunt attempt, I guess you could say. Bradley Higgins unable to get it when he, in time, throws it to Blaze with pressure, unable to make the catch, and Blaze forcing the run to come in. It is now a 1-0 game. It's a silly little mistake, but it was something that they couldn't really do.
1-0 Vikings And still a runner at third is Zaldivar, 90 feet away from home plate. And now the number 5 hitter, Sam Rosamilia, is at bat. The junior is 2 for 10 to begin the season. And that fastball is in for a called strike, 0-1. Rosamilia showed tremendous patience this season so far. He's walked 6 times. Also stolen 3 bases. And a nasty curveball by Higgins. There's the curveball. And he got a swing and a miss out of it, and it's 0-2. Higgins really needs to get out of this inning, and time will be called by the number 5 hitter. The Gales JV team is taking some batting practice out behind the left field wall. The 0-2 pitch, and that misses way high, ball 1. That's a good 0-2 pitch, Eli. You don't want to ever throw a flat 0-2 pitch because, you know, hitters are going to turn on it. So that's a good pitch out of the strike zone.
Absolutely.
North Arlington, another time, Rosamilia, for the second time in the set bat, will call time. Well, the Gales have battled with the weather this season a lot, Eli. They've had a lot of rainouts, a lot of delays, a lot of tough games playing, but ideal conditions, I would say, was 65 degrees. Swing and a miss. Higgins threw that right by Rosamilia, and that is his first strikeout of the game. But the Vikings strike first, 1-0 North Arlington. We go to the bottom of the first. Well, we have a matchup on the mound today of Higgins versus Higgins. Danny Higgins is the starting pitcher today for North Arlington. This is his second start of the year. His first start came against Lyndhurst, went 4 innings, gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, 5 walks, struck out only 1. So looking for a better outing here in his second start of the season. The Vikings struck first in the top of the first, a 1-0 lead for North Arlington. Gales coming to bat for the first time today. It'll be the sophomore right fielder, Yandel Ortiz, to lead off for St. Mary's. And he is off to a great start this year, hitting .455 with 5 driven in, 3 walks, 3 stolen bases. And he had a 4-hit performance against Lyndhurst on Thursday. First pitch drops in for a strike. It's 0-1.
I'm looking for a better performance of Danny Higgins. He's a young sophomore. I can see him. He's got to get more strikeouts. That is the key for him to this game. If he can get tons of more strikeouts, he'll be all right for today's game.
And Higgins is quickly ahead on Ortiz, 0-2. And 3 pitches, and Ortiz is down on strikes. Back-to-back breaking balls thrown by Higgins, and he picks up the strikeout. 1 gone here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, you cannot go off on that note. 3 straight strikes thrown. What a perfect strikeout there. You cannot do that here. Not a great job by Ortiz, but hey, incredible work to Ortiz overall. Incredible work to Higgins, excuse me.
Sebastian Santana bats second today. He's DHing again. He's had some injuries. That's why they're not playing him at catcher. But you want his bat in the lineup, of course. He's off to a good start this year. 5 for 14 so far for Sebastian, with a double, a triple, and 5 driven in, along with 4 walks. And of course, last year he walked 14 times, also got hit by 8 pitches. So his on base percentage is tremendous. And right on cue, he gets hit by a pitch. Right in the helmet, and the Gales have their first base runner of the day.
Yeah, good from our angle at least, but I don't. You want to know folks what Jack just did in the background, but it's okay. Hit by pitch. Glad he's at first. Hope he's okay though. It does look like it hurts from our angle though. Hit him right in the helmet. So what was the laugh here?
Blaze Conti hits one to short, and it's booted by Moya, and it goes into left center field. Santana's on his way to third. He will make it there safely, and Conti is into second. And the Gales now have second and third, nobody out. So the shortstop, Julian Moya, had that go right between the wickets. It'll be an error. And the Gales now have 2 in scoring position.
There you just saw on the replay there. Unfortunately, a mistake there that was costly for Julian Moya. And that unfortunately resulted in that silly mistake that allowed the runners to now go to second and third. Now it's time for Owen to shine.
Owen Perillo, his first at-bat as a St. Mary Gale, coming over from Hudson Catholic. He has had a tremendous career, a career .407 hitter for Owen Perillo, 6 home runs. He's driven in 36 runs, walked 30 times, and he is a massive addition to this Gales line. Big-time power bat there with Blaze Conti, and that was a home run swing. He comes up empty. It's 1-1.
Yeah, he's got to just take his time, slow it down, not rush it. And that'll be the key to his success for today's game.
And a swing and a miss, 1-2.
As I mentioned, Jack, he's got to take it a little slow down. Don't always go for it. Don't always aim for it. Because if you keep on aiming for it, it's going to result in a strikeout.
1-2 pitch is high, 2-2.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Stay calm, focus, and relax. You can't feel the nervousness here. Now's the wrong time.
Runners at third and second as Santana and Conti are both in scoring position. The 2-2 pitch. And that's ripped foul into the netting. Oof.
I want the radar gun, please.
There is the strength. That's probably, we don't have a radar strength, but that was a rocket. I don't know if I've ever seen a ball hit that hard here. Good thing the fence was there to stop that. That was a bullet.
Runner second, third.
2-2. And he got a piece of it, fouled it off to the right side. He stays in the at-bat. So Perillo, after falling behind 1-2, has shortened up his swing. And he's hit some foul balls. Gotta be nerve-wracking, right? First at-bat. Here comes the 2-2. And that's hit deep down the left field line. And that ball is foul. That didn't miss by much. JV kids will go to chase it.
Hey, that was a good opportunity there. Just got to get more inside, and you have a home run right there. We could see it here.
Yep. Still 2 strikes. And a grounder to third. Breaking for the plate of Santana. He will score. The throw to first is in time. Perillo is retired for the second out, but Sebastian Santana scores, and the Gales have tied it up at 1-1. Owen Perillo with his first RBI as a St. Mary Gale.
Jack, that was the third baseman, Troiano, that made the error there. Slips right by him, unable to make the play. Gales get off one board.
So Perillo picks up an RBI in his first at-bat as a Gale, and that will now bring up the number 5 hitter, Alex Almonte, who's off to a great start this year, hitting .353, a home run, 4 extra base hits. He's driven in 11 runs, also stolen 6 bases, and he comes up empty on that big swing, 0-1. Conti's still at second with 2 outs now. And that's popped up on the right side. First baseman Patel is calling everyone off, and he makes the catch, and the inning comes to an end. Owen Perillo's RBI ground out gets the Gales even at 1. We'll be back for the top of the second right after this.
Welcome back. We have an umpire delay at the moment.
That's right, Eli. Umpire has left the field for a moment.
Gone to the bathroom for a second. We'll be back.
I don't know if we were going to mention that part, but...
So we currently have a delay at the moment. But
Oh, he's out.
the Gills have a tie game right now.
Mr. Umpire has emerged. And he will make his way back to behind home plate, and we'll be ready to go. Bradley Higgins will begin his second inning of work.
Speaking of joining, they'll have joining us next Thursday for the 12th Podcast Draft Party Special. That is live on Surge Sports and, of course, on the 12th Podcast YouTube channel. You can catch us next Thursday, recapping all the action.
Yep, it'll be me, Eli, and our friend Jason Lee live next Thursday for the first round of the NFL Draft. Still, all 32 teams hold their first round picks, Eli. So, if you whatever your team is in the NFL, you can't skip draft night because your team is probably going to be picking at some point. We are back to action here. The designated hitter Kevin Barone is at bat, 3 for 10 so far in the season with a couple of doubles, and that one is in the dirt for ball 1. It is 1-1 here in Rutherford. There's a strike, 1-1. Both teams with an unearned run in the first inning. Both defenses were very rough, Eli, in the first inning. That's one of the Gales' problems this year has been their defense, and specifically their infield defense. They've really got to get that cleaned up over these next couple of games.
They do in terms of the outfield, though. It's been excellent. You cannot question between Logan Bartley, Ortiz, and Almonte. They've done a phenomenal job out in the outfield side of things. Infield's got to be fixed up a little bit.
They've been excellent, Eli, as you mentioned.
They definitely make some adjustments here because now Owen Pearl has just gone to line. He's now at third base. That is something new that the Gills are trying to get adjusted to. Blaze back at first. These are all adjustments because that's it.
The curveball is swung out and missed for strike 3, and Giddens makes the throw down to first. One away here in the top of the second. Back-to-back Ks for Bradley Higgins going back to the top of the first.
That's excellent for Bradley Higgins. He's wanting to that's going to help this Gills team move forward right into the bottom. To get back up, I believe it's going to be 6, 7, and 8 up for the Gills when we return to the bottom of the second. All right? Yeah.
Now the starting pitcher, Danny Higgins, is up at bat. Higgins against Higgins here, and he fouls back the first pitch. Count is 0-1. Danny Higgins so far in the season is 2 for 10. Couple walks, couple stolen bases. Higgins' 0-1 pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. So Bradley looking much more comfortable here on the top of the second.
Yeah, he is.
The 0-2 pitch. And that's in there for strike 3. So Higgins gets him on 3 pitches, and that is now 3 consecutive strikeouts for Bradley Higgins. 2 outs here in the top of the second. So now 2 outs, nobody on for North Arlington. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Julian Moya, who had just 5 at-bats for the season, 1 for 5. Looking for a bit of redemption here. Had that booted play at shortstop in the bottom of the first, which ultimately led to the Gales scoring a run. And that pitch misses just outside, ball 1. What airline is that, Eli, flying over?
United.
Yep. There's a strike right on the inside corner. That was a perfect pitch by Higgins. Gets count even at 1. And that curveball drops from the heavens. Yeah, I think the umpire even liked that pitch. Yeah, that was a very enthusiastic strike call, and it's now 1-2. He's got that curveball working, Eli, that's for sure.
He does.
And that just misses. 2-2. That was an off-speed pitcher, Eli. It feels like we've only seen the fastball and the curveball, but they'll take a changeup right there. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Bradley Higgins strikes out the side in the top of the second. 4 consecutive strikeouts. We go to the bottom of the second. It is still 1-1 here in Rutherford. Well, it's going to be a busy week for us here on Surge Sports, including today, games each of the first 4 days this week. Bobby and I will be in North Arlington tomorrow to see the Gales softball team face North Arlington. We have a doubleheader on Wednesday as both baseball and softball will be taking on Rutherford. And then Thursday, softball will be taking on Wayne Valley at home. You can catch all the action right here on Surge Sports TV. Roy Rivera leads off for the Gales here in the bottom of the second. And a first pitch curveball is in for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Yes, and by the way, for that Rutherford game, the baseball team is here at Philip Sheridan.
Yep. And Rivera with a base headed to left field. Good start to the second for the Gales. Roy Rivera with a leadoff hit.
Good hit there by Rivera off to left field. That's what the Gales need to continue to do. Get those runs out there.
So the Gales with a leadoff base runner.
Max was saying Philip Sheridan is home for the baseball for the Rutherford game this Wednesday. The softball team is still at their home field, just different diamond, if I'm not mistaken.
Here is the catcher, Demir Giddens, batting 7th today, and a pickoff attempt. Rivera is back safely. Rivera's got 5 stolen bases on the year, so he is a threat. Justin Cerulli is the starting catcher for North Arlington. He's just in there for defense, not in the batting order today. Giddens takes a pitch inside, and it's ball 1. Giddens is 5 for 15 to start the season with 3 RBIs. Still looking for his first extra base hit of the year. And there goes Rivera from first. The throw to second is no signal yet. It's in time. Rivera is gunned down at second. Justin Cerulli gets him. 1 out here in the second.
You could tell right away that it was not looking good for Roy Rivera. Let us take a look at the replay one more time for us here. The ball is thrown in time to the second baseman. Just not in time though. Started slowing down. Did not slide. The slide was good, but not the right moment there. Roy Rivera gets the out there. Not a good moment for the Gales.
Yeah. I coach that team.
So now Demir Giddens bats with the bases empty. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. That's fouled back. So Rivera caught stealing for the first out. Well, that's why Justin Cerulli's in. He's just in there for his defense, and he makes a fine play there to get the first out. Logan Bartley is on deck for the Gales. And Giddens hits one to short. Let's see if Moy can make this play. He picks it with his chest, and he makes the throw 2 away. Good job by Justin Moya. Blocked that one with his chest, kept it in front of him, and made a perfect throw. So there are 2 away now in the inning.
Lucky play there, and look at it one more time. Moya bounces off his chest. Now, if it just took another couple more seconds, and if he ran fast enough, like Demir Giddens, he could have been safe. But unfortunately, timing did not match. The moment the ball hit his chest, it resulted in another out for the Gales. A crucial out, which could have been safe.
It is now the left fielder, Logan Bartley, up to bat. He's got a home run on the year, hit one against Ramsey. Swing and a miss. Count is 1-1. Bartley came over from Don Bosco. And a grounder to third, handled by Troiano. The off-balance throw is in time, and that retires the side. A scoreless inning put up by Higgins. 1-1, we go to the bottom of the second. Top of the third is underway here in Rutherford. It'll be 9-1-2 for the Vikings. The right fielder, Nico Stanzione, will hit ninth. He's 2 for 10 on the season.
Got 9-1-2 out there this inning.
Yep, 9-1-2. The Gales will also have 9-1-2 up when we get to the bottom of the third. Higgins beginning his third inning of work. Still waiting for the first pitch of the inning. Now we're ready to go. Higgins to Stanzione. He shows Bunny, he lays off as that pitch is in the dirt. Ball 1. Higgins gave up his first run of the season back in the first. Owen Perillo playing very in at third base, expecting a bunt, but Higgins misses away, 2-0. Perillo is playing very in at third, but Blaze Conti is playing back at first. And that misses, and it's 3-0. So Higgins is in trouble against the number 9 hitter, Stanzione. And North Arlington, they've got some good bats at the top of the lineup, so this is the last thing you want to do is walk the 9 hitter. And that's in for a strike, and it's now 3-1. And that's ball 4, so a leadoff walk issued by Higgins. Stanzione reaches. That's the second walk today for Bradley Higgins.
Unfortunately, you cannot be continuously doing this with these walks. Unfortunately, it's going to happen consecutively, not what you want to see. Get a great second inning. We want that second inning energy back here again this inning.
Chris, back to the top of the order for North Arlington. Chris Troiano flied out to center his first time up. The Gales outfielder's playing back, so clearly a good power hitter here. Chris Troiano is. A pickoff attempt back safely is Stanzione. Chris Troiano, out of his 7 hits, has 1 extra base hit. It was a triple. Another pickoff attempt, and again, Stanzione makes it back safely. And a helicopter coming over us now. That one's coming right over the field. Usually they'll fly in from behind the field, but not that time. That is a strike, I believe. I think the umpire called it a strike. That's I couldn't hear what he called it. Pickoff attempt, and again, Stanzione makes it back.
With the helicopter flying over, I just want to say this. I would go to space first before I fly in a helicopter. I really will.
There goes the runner. The throw by Giddens is high, and it goes into center field. And Stanzione is safely in with a stolen base. It's his 4th stolen base of the year in North Arlington with a runner in scoring position. Yeah, well, we had obviously the tragedy that happened this past weekend in New York at the Hudson River.
Space first, fly the rocket, then but I go to space for that.
Conti now comes in at first, and Troiano takes outside, and it's now 2-2. Luis Ramos, who walked his first time up. That's all right. Giddens.
Yeah, well, eventually on a pickoff attempt, it had to be done.
Here comes another helicopter, Eli. I would, actually. Yeah. So the Vikings still with a runner at third and 1 out. And the Vikings go back in front. Great base running.
Unable to get the job. Incredible catch by
It was really something special. But Higgins quickly falls behind 2-0 on It'll be 9-1-2 for the Gales in this inning, starting off with the second.
Both these teams' infield has been not the best. Really, you don't keep the infield, both sides have not been the best. That's why the score is this close. But the
Well, job well done by Danny Higgins. Only one hit through the first time around the Gales batting order, but that'll bring up the DH Sebastian Santana to the plate. Ortiz is still. Danny Higgins. Oh no. Coach Nigel will hold them up at third. Ortiz nearly came all the way around in that. That ball rolled out for 15 home runs on the season. They've both got incredible power. Rosamilia comes in. He's there. Oh.
Why you go with one hand like this?
we did not expect to see. That was a bad moment there. The center fielder, by the way.
Rosamilia is going to be kicking himself about that one. That is a play that should be made 100 out of 100. Well, I have opinions on the city of Philadelphia that I will not share on this broadcast.
It's a different argument for a different day. It's been a sloppy game for both sides.
So here's the center fielder, Sam Rosamilia, looking to redeem himself after that. And that's fouled back. Nearly got caught in the fence, and it's 0-1. I'm not going. Standard defensive positioning here for the Gales, but he's back safely. And that misses way up, and it's a full count. Rosamilia fouls that one back, and this is a terrific at-bat being put together by Sam Rosamilia. Another pickoff throw, and there's two. No, Conti loses it. A low throw. No, that's on Bobby Cross at second for. So again, rough day for the Gales defense. Foul back, and it's 2-2. Not sure how long he's going to go today, Eli. And we go to the bottom of the fourth, halfway through here in Rutherford. Please tell the viewers at home the specific red condiment you. That is I think the worst thing I've ever heard in my entire life. But ketchup on pretzels might be the craziest thing I've heard in my entire life. And I've been on this earth for 17 and a half years now. The only thing I like on my hot dogs is sauerkraut. By that pitch.
Yeah, but Jack, I think pretzels, ketchup,
Rivera hits a bouncer to short. See if Moy can handle this one. No, he cannot. And Rivera will be safe at first. And the night base runner and Demir Giddens will be at the plate for St. Mary's.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I mean, really tough play. I'm glad he did make the catch, but hey, that was an incredible catch.
Still, or 2-2, excuse me, still anybody's game. And it'll be 8-9-1 for the Vikings here on the top of the fifth. Absolutely, Eli. And quickly, Higgins ahead 1-2. Still down in the count though, 1-2. It hit him. Yep, it hit him. And the Vikings have the leadoff base runner, and Moya is a little shaken up, walking down. When we go to the bottom of the fifth. Not sure what the delay is here. It'll be Higgins' play. He's got to go to first, and he gets the out, one away, but it's a successful bunt as Moya is now in scoring position. Yep, you're right. Yeah, so yeah, Eli was right. Jeffrey Paulino was the new catcher for St. Mary's. Well, the Gales have seen Chris Troiano many, many times. He's had 2 starts against the Gales on the mound. And the full count pitch. And that's lined into center field. That's going to fall a base hit. Moya is strong, despite his strong efforts today. Bradley Higgins will not have a chance to win this game. In the scoring position.
And Jack, I 100% agree. Shortstop especially has been a struggle for both sides.
But it also has been a quiet. Alex Zaldivar is at the plate for North Arlington, trying to get an insurance.
You're good.
Welcome back, everyone. Sorry about the issues we were having. Lost the connection there, but we are back. It is the bottom of the fifth. Back to the top of the order for the Gales. Have 1 less out to work with each time. And now Sebastian Santana comes up to bat. Nobody, I can tell you, nobody watching at home has expected this.
No, it's an upset.
And the Vikings are 1 strike away from game. Don't really care about the field. Your offense has done nothing. If we lose this, there's no coming back. I don't care if they're better than they were last year. I mean, they lost. Well, we are on the top of the 6th now, and yes, you are reading the score correctly on your screen. The pitcher's interference.
I'm looking at the replay here closely.
Fine to have that opinion, Eli, because I think we all are shocked.
And you can't blame it too much on the...
Arlington has a 1-run lead, and the Gales have just 6 outs to work with. They will have their big hitters coming up. And Cabrera has the strikeout to dugout. Now the designated hitter. Gales would love to. The umpire saying it hit the bat, the knob of the bat, so it's a foul ball. And we're on the top of the 6th, just 4 outs to work with. But the Gales will have their big hitters coming up in the bottom of the 6th. Conti, Perillo, and Almond it out here in Rutherford.
This might be the top of 7-2.
Yeah, he is, after that first bad play he made in the field, he's made a couple of fine plays the last couple innings, and now he's got a chance to give North Arlington for the Gales on the mound this year. Grinder down to third, it's a fair ball, and Perillo will just put it in his pocket. And here comes Coach Nigel. Romeo Cabrera's pitched well, but he's given up 3 soft hits, basically. And no surprise, Coach Nigel's leaving Romeo Cabrera in to face him. 6 outs to work with, but will that be down by 1, down by 2? And it misses, and it's 3-0. There's a strike, 3-1. He had to throw a strike there, and he did. Man, big pitch to make here. It was 3-0 on Stanzio, and Cabrera's worked the count full.
Go, Key, come on!
We did that. Not a third Viking? Yeah.
Next. Are we back on? All right, well, we are back, everyone, here in the bottom of the 6th. Blaze Conti flied out for the first out. That's a big out for North Arlington to get. Now here's Owen Perillo, still looking for his first hit as a St. Mary Gale. And wouldn't it be a great time for him to hit his first home run as a St. Mary Gale, too? He has 6 career home runs, 3 last year, 3 in 2023. Just such a smart baseball player. Spent so much time talking to him this offseason. just has such incredible knowledge about the game. I think one of the most interesting things, too, talking to him was I asked him why his walk rate was down so much. And he said, as one of the big hitters in this lineup, why should I walk? I'm supposed to be driving these people in, not taking walks. And that misses, and it's 3-1. This is great at bat. Again, Owen Perillo, again, he knows the strike zone well. Doesn't walk a lot, but he knows the strike zone well, and he'll take his walks when he wants. Yep, 3-1 pitch, hitters count. And that's ball 4, so almost looks like Higgins had no interest in pitching to Owen Perillo, and he draws the walk.
Honestly, a smart call from the North Arlington side of things. From the Gale side of things, it's not what you want because he's a hitter. And he can go maybe pass to second base, get a home run out of the deal. Not what we want. Let's see what the Gales can do now.
So the Gales with a 1-out base runner, and we are going to get a pinch runner for Owen Perillo, and it will be D'Angelo Zuniga to come in to pinch run. Well, this is his specialty. He's, as a pinch runner, he's stolen 3 bases and scored 6 runs on the season. So this is exactly what the Gales use him for. And again, we can see him maybe steal a base here, and he can absolutely fly around the base path. So Perillo comes out, and Zuniga comes in to run. And already Zuniga's getting a big lead. Higgins checks back. And a throw over, and Zuniga back in plenty of time. Another throw over, and Zuniga's back safely. Well, he's thrown over both times, and neither have even been close. Got to think that Higgins is eventually going to have to throw this first pitch to Alex Almonte, who's still looking for his first hit today, but he's had so many big hits this season. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. That's Monty. And that's high, ball 1. One, and that's a strike. And the count is now 2-2. Perfect pitch. Zuniga has not left first. Wonder if he runs here now with 2 strikes. He's getting a big lead over there at first. Not going, and Almonte hits one out to center field. Center fielder started back, now has to come in, and he can't make the catch. It's down. Zuniga pulls into second, but a pop fly single for Alex Almonte, and the Gales have a runner in scoring position.
He's the call, I guess you could say here for North Arlington. That could have been a crucial out there. Instead, we'll take.
Well, Jeffrey Paulino came in to catch for Demir Giddens, and he'll be on deck. Roy Rivera, though, at the plate. The freshman looking for his first big Gales moment. Zuniga at second, and Alex Almonte at first, with 1 out and a first pitch strike to Rivera. An absolutely wide open gap in right center field. If he goes out there, that's probably 2 runs. And he fouls the one off. It might be a fair ball. It's going to stay fair. And Rivera is safe at first, and the bases are loaded. An infield single for Roy Rivera. The Gales with back-to-back hits, and the bases are loaded for Jeffrey Paulino.
This is big for Jeffrey Paulino here.
Well, Jeffrey Paulino has hit a lot of home runs in batting practice. How would a grand slam be here? That would be quite something, wouldn't it?
11 at-bats this season, 6 runs, 4 hits, 2 RBIs to his credit. Now is the time, if he hits a grand slam, that will change his entire ballpark around and change this so-called upset that we are seeing so far.
Well, a base hit would also be damaging. It would probably bring in 2 runs. Here's the first pitch, and it misses high, ball 1. Well, you have no problem here taking your walks, Eli. Jeffrey Paulino has already walked 8 times this year. He's walked 8 times, so he is more than comfortable taking his walks. 1-0, and that's outside, 2-0. And Higgins all of a sudden is starting to lose the strike zone.
So far, so you gotta keep doing what he's doing. Don't go for it. This is big for Dan Higgins right here.
This is a hitter's count, 2-0 to Paulino. And it's in for a strike, 2-1. Oh, he dropped the curve in on 2-0 and got a strike. That is a pitcher's pitch right there. That was a nice one there, Eli, from Danny Higgins.
Oh, boy, that was a good one there.
Yep.
Very tough.
2-1 to Paulino. And he rips one into the gap in left center field. That's down for a base hit. The Gales are going to take the lead, 2-run score. Going to third is Rivera. Jeffrey Paulino gives the Gales the lead with a 2-run double. It's 4-3 St. Mary's in the 6th.
And it's Paulino to get the job done. 2 runs come in. Goes off to left. Unable to get the job done. And there we go. The Gales have the 4-3 lead. Jeffrey Paulino getting the job done.
Jeffrey Paulino with his 3rd double of the season. This one produces 2 runs. And the biggest hit the Gales have had all season up to this point. A 2-run double to give St. Mary's a 4-3 lead. The sophomore transfer, Jeffrey Paulino, with his first big Gales moment. And now Romeo Cabrera at the plate. He's showing bunt here, and he gets it down. It's a fair ball, and the throw to first is in time. Here comes Rivera to the plate, and he is safe at the plate. Unbelievable base running by Roy Rivera, and the Gales now lead 5-3.
Way to get the job done, kid.
Unbelievable base running by Roy Rivera.
How the tables are turned.
It's the newcomers, Eli, that are paying dividends for the Gales today. 4 runs home in the inning and now a 5-3 lead. And not only that, Jeffrey Paulino made it to third on that play. And now a chance for Bobby Cross with a runner at third. And 2 outs.
Only on third, right?
Yep.
Only on third.
This is the 7th batter of the inning for the Gales as Bobby Cross takes a strike and it's 0-1. What a rally by the Gales here, Eli, in the bottom of the 6th. First, the 2-run double by Paulino, and then Roy Rivera breaking to the plate on a safety squeeze.
All I know is that was a crazy moment that we've just witnessed here. The comeback Jeffrey Paulino is going to rule out ultimately as the ultimate savior for this skills team in today's game. But they need to get through a top of the 7th, a big top of the 7th here. We know Dan Northampton can get on base here. It's going to be a top of the 7th ahead. First, finish it off here with Bobby Cross.
Yep, Bobby Cross is now down in the count 1-2. If the inning were to continue, Yandel Ortiz would be on deck. And Cross hits one down to third. Troiano handles it. The throw is in time, and the inning is over. But the Gills send 4 to the plate. They have a 5-3 lead. The Vikings are down to their final 3 outs. Can they rally? We will see. Top of the 7th coming up right here on Surge Sports TV. It had been a quiet day for the Gales offense up until the bottom six. They sent 3 runners to the plate, a 2-run go-ahead double by Jeffrey Paulino flipped the script, and then the Gales got an insurance run on a safety squeeze by Romeo Cabrera with Roy Rivera coming down the line and ultimately getting under the tag of the North Arlington catcher. So the Vikings are now down to their final 3 outs here, but they have the top of the lineup due up, starting with the third baseman Chris Troiano, who had a base hit his last time up. Romeo Cabrera trying to get the save for the Gales. And the first pitch misses high, ball 1. Well, this game is so far from over. The Gales defense has struggled tremendously today. And North Arlington has put together some good rallies, but there's a strike. 1-1.
This is so crucial here, Jack. This final inning here.
And that got the iron, and it is now 1-2. And how about that redemption too, Eli, from Jeffrey Paulino? The inning before, he had been called for catcher's interference, but he comes up and delivers a big 2-run double. And not only that, Eli, that was an absolute rocket to left center field. Like, there was not. The Gales have had a lot of cheap. The Gales have had a lot of cheap hits today, but there was nothing cheap about that. Down to first, Conti with a sprawling stop, and he gets to the bag, 1 away. What a play by Blaze Conti over at first base, and the Gales are 2 outs away.
The infield improvement. This 7th inning is, I guess, because it's 7th inning stretch, and they've got the 7th inning stretch working so far. Stretched out, worked it out. He's good to go. Blaze Conti gets his first out of the inning.
Gales are 2 outs away. Now the second baseman, Luis Ramos, and he hits one out to center field, but Almonte will have plenty of room, and he makes the catch, and the Gales are 1 out away from a victory. Alex Almonte makes his second nice play in center field, so the Vikings are now down to their last out here this afternoon, and it'll be left up to the sophomore, Alex Zaldivar, to keep this game going. Swing and a miss, strike 1. And that's in there for a strike. And now the Vikings are down to their final strike here this afternoon. The 0-2 pitch. Looped out to center field, and it's going to be a base hit. And the Vikings stay alive. An 0-2 hit for Alex Zaldivar. And the Vikings just will not go away. And they will get the tying run to bat with Rohan Patel coming up. So the Vikings stay alive. And they've got a nice hitter here with Rohan Patel. Came in today 4 for 9 on the season. Romeo Cabrera trying to finish it off for the Gales. And that first pitch misses inside. Ball 1.
Big one here.
Yep, 1-0 pitch. And that misses, 2-0.
It's a yikes one there.
Yep. Rohan Patel is the tying run at the plate. Alex Zaldivar at first. That run really doesn't matter. Swing and a miss. That's a great sinker by Cabrera, and it's now a 2-1 count. The Gales were down this entire game. They had not led until that 2-run double by Jeffrey Paulino. But on a day where it's been a tremendous struggle, the Gales still have an opportunity to get out of here with the win. And a swing and a miss, and once again, the Vikings are down to their final strike. And Cabrera will step off, take a moment to gather himself. The 2-2 pitch. And it's in there, strike 3 called. A late strike 3 call from the home plate umpire, but Patel is punched out. Romeo Cabrera finishes off the Gales' biggest win of the season, the 2-run double from Jeffrey Paulino, and the Gales improve to 6-2 as they defeat the North Arlington Vikings 5-3.
They survived. Super dangerous one there. What a big win for the Gales. It was a sloppy game for both sides. And they got the job done.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit, though, to North Arlington for the way they came in here and fought today. And it's certainly, this is certainly a bit of a humbling game for the Gales. You know, showing that some of these NJIC national teams can compete with them. But a 5-3 victory for the Gales, highlighted by the 2-run hit by Jeffrey Paulino. And how about Romeo Cabrera closing it out at the end there? So the Gales win it here 5-3. We'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon. Bobby and I will be for the Gales softball game against North Arlington. For Bobby Blackjack, Eli Weintraub, Jack Rizzo signing off from Rutherford. We will see you tomorrow afternoon. Have a great night, everyone. You've been watching Gales Baseball on Surge Sports.